fired for not praying, two atheists win big in discrimination lawsuit. Two non-religious employees, John McGaha and Mackenzie Saunders, secured a $50,000 settlement against Aurora Pro Services after they were fired for refusing to participate in the company's daily Christian prayer meetings. McGaha's wages were first halved, and the prayer meetings were extended from 20 to 45 minutes before he was eventually fired in 2020. Sanders was fired in 2020 and was fired between 2020 and 2021 for declining to attend the mandated prayer meetings, which conflicted with which conflicted with her beliefs. The company's owner, Oscar D. Lopez, took attendance at some of the prayer meetings and reprimanded those who didn't attend. After Aurora Pro refused mediation, the EEOC, which is involved with like labor complaints, the Equal Employment Office Commission, something like that. It's a government body, accused the company of violating Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. In a statement highlighting the broader legal implications, Melinda C. Dugas, the regional attorney for EEOC's Charlotte District, stressed the fact that, quote, federal law protects employees from having to choose between their sincerely held religious beliefs and their jobs, and that employers must accommodate conflicting personal religious beliefs. So let's dig into the background. So this is a home repair company in North Carolina, and they had these two employees that were working for the company at different times. And they're supposed to do stuff like help fix your roof, help fix your pipes, repair things around your home, blah, blah, blah. And the according to the allegations in the suit, the company's owner, Oscar D. Lopez, who has his LinkedIn profile describing him as servant, husband, father, and devout Catholic, basically would mandate that his employees begin have prayer meetings. And at first they started out with just like a little bit shorter, 20 minutes, and then they extended all the way to 45 minutes. And like I said, he would take attendance at these meetings and he would reprimand people who didn't want to attend these meetings. He took punitive action against one of the plaintiffs, McGaha, and when he didn't want to partake in these meetings. And basically, the people that didn't want to attend were punished. This is obviously thoroughly illegal. What is the official name of this department? The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. So these employees went to the EEOC to file a complaint against the company, and it's standard practice for the EEOC to try to do some form of arbitration or mediation, I should say. And they refused to cooperate, and so now they have to pay $50,000, which honestly. So that covers back pay for lost wages and commissions for both of the employees that were fired. But honestly, I'm kind of surprised that it's so little. I would expect a lot more than just $50,000. But Armin, what is your reaction?
This is what we need, by the way, because I always complain about the fact that it's so easily, it's so easy to discriminate against atheists. And we need to make sure that people understand that that's not okay. I think one thing we need to learn from, this might sound weird coming from me, but we need to learn from religious people. Okay. We need to learn from Muslims. We need to learn from Christians, and we need to learn from Hindus. Okay. Because they have each other's backs, and and this is I'm actually not being sarcastic here. This is something that I congratulate these people over. I mean, I wish they also were concerned about other people as much, but that's, I take what I could get. But basically what I'm saying is that if you discriminate against a Muslim, guess who's gonna complain about it? The Muslim community. They stand up for each other. Hindus stand up for each other. Christians stand up for each other. Mormons stand up for each other. Jewish people stand up for each other. Okay, if there's a case of discrimination against Jewish people, you're going to hear about it, and good, justifiably so. But it's easy to come after atheists, and that's your fault. And by your I mean like many atheists, because you don't stand up for other atheists the way Muslims stand up for Muslims or Jews stands for Jewish people. You make it easy for them. There's very little cost associated with it, and people recognize that, and that's why they feel safe to discriminate against gay people, against atheists, right? I mean, yeah, with actually gay people, that's a good example, because in the past couple of years, just many gay people also have progressed a lot when it comes to making sure that they stand up against the intolerance against the LGBT community. And it's our turn. I think the atheists. This is why we need the atheist movement, because we need to make that a thing. We need to make that cost. People feel the cost associated with the bigotry against atheists. And also, D highlighted a comment here for us. I think that captures that as well. This Imperator Leith, what Imperator? Is that right? Letha is saying, "I'm glad they brought and won a suit against the company. We need to normalize prayer refusal and bring lawsuits like this when necessary, especially here in the US, where prayer before business and or meeting is more common than people realize." So, I mean, the prayer thing is an issue, but in general, any discrimination against the atheists, that's a more important part that I wanted to highlight. And and also, people have to understand, in the US, when you make this a thing in the US, the world notices. I can and it's used as a model. It's used as something that people could refer to. So when you are doing this in the US, you have to understand that this is not just going to be a US thing. People around the world, when they want to make cases for different things, either good things or bad things, they use at more advanced countries as a way to justify what they're doing, right? For good and for bad, right? So I see that many people who support the Islamic Republic do sometimes they justify their policies by saying, well, look, even in European countries, blah 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 blah, right? Or people who want liberalism and secularism, they constantly refer to France, to US, to the UK. Monarchists in Iran constantly refer to the UK as a way to justify what they want. So you have to understand that whatever is happening, I'm not just saying the good thing, the good and the bad things, and sometimes the good things are misrepresented, but the everything that is happening in the US or Canada or Western European countries is constantly used as a reference when other people in other countries are trying to justify. I mean, we see that here in the live chat, right? Like we saw that with the failed attempt by Oxymoron to make cases. It's constantly using people, because especially with people who have inferiority complex like Oxymoron. They keep on trying to use references from countries more advanced than India to justify their cases. So it's very important that you recognize that when you normalize something, like in the United States, you are having an influence on the entire planet, and that's why it's very important.